sounds so fucking congested. Like, I'm congested out the wazoo right now. But even I don't sound that bad, I don't think. Good lord, brother. Holy. Dude just sounds like a wedgie magnet. It's actually baffling to me that they pulled this off and then had all of this evidence that they themselves gathered against themselves. Like, this is a private recording of them. You steal $240 million and you leave the biggest possible digital footprints. That's mind-boggling. Zach XBT claims that he has over an hour and a half of footage of these fucking footprints. There's also times where they slipped up, revealing full names and other important information that Zach was able to gather. And the one I really want to focus on is Malone. Zach got some really good information on Malone because this guy loved to flaunt all of this shit. So he started this money and immediately started and giving out Birkin bags to random girls. There were girls on TikTok that were walking away from his parties just carrying Birkin bags, and I guarantee he didn't even get so much as a kiss on the cheek for it. This guy was blowing $500,000 for 7 years. Every single day. Disneyland has honored veterans. So I guarantee he bought his crush a pink Lamborghini as well as 3 Birkin bags to try and lure her in and get her. All she says is, take it once again. He says, I have all these kids. Stole, tried to buy, was not working. She thinks that that's so some of the photos on here's one from his Instagram, which is unfortunately quite but I love how in this photo, Malone is like the least visible person there. His 2 friends are front and center, and Malone is in the background. Even in his own Instagram post, he is not like the main focus. This guy must have just been like a perpetual fucking user in his own friend group. He gets hundreds of millions of dollars here, and still they don't respect him, they don't care about him. They just use him for his money.
Where do I put this?
That's the impression.
PTSD, nigga, fuck the big 3, nigga, it's just big me, nigga.
Anyway, let's talk about some of the others. So Zach XBT
I don't know what to do with this, but I don't want it in the middle of the thing.
But what I do understand is that exactly what like he has and now it's only a matter of time before the rest will also gets justice. Although I'm pretty surprised at how this was from these snot videos. It really is it seems like a standard by social media. Support all should that's a good it's something that has been done for so long. I was just kind of surprised when I see one someone that had that much money. They probably would belong or something like that, but there's a really kind of that you get a lot of money. So they got very lucky that they lived right along with the street control. Really excited that Zach is on the place. Catch all maybe something like that. But right now, quickly celebrating that Zach XPT has done a very job in this investigation, identifying all of the scammers here, and giving justice. Hopefully the rest of them will face it as well, so enjoy the whole box. And then that's really about it. I've thrown on the formal attire today because we need to discuss something very important. A huge username linked to it. Big, long, rainbow behemoth. He is a big TikTok creator. That's a word I'm using very loosely. 11 million followers. I'm sure only people like Nick have ever heard of him before. What he's become known for over the years is looking at tweets or comments, reading them out and going, come on. But sometimes it's a little hard to muster a laugh, so what he'll do is he'll read one of the comments and go, but I'm not here just to give him a little wet-winded laughter for a people's cringe. I'm here to talk about something far more interesting. But a bit honorable mention to something on these specific persons before his career. I think people like Nick I've seen a couple of things from Nick now after I've been informed of the situations I've been in. It's super important because I'm authorized to take down the contract from those persons, but super personally discussing the conflicts or in one situation. Now, while I do think of the fact that hilarious, it's still just going to be short videos. It's just going to a lot of it's just so no reason for that. Let's get into what I'm discussing the information that came out about this. So, anyway, it's something a podcast, I suppose, and inviting someone on and which led to this break, and you were flooded with queries about intellectual behavior. So this morning, necessarily before going on the podcast, do you want to make a video for all of them? It's just like, it's the day, it's just like, it's the last week's days, and he says, just thinking about her, you thought this would be a good option. They're great. So he says, what? He goes, I don't know what the rest of it is. I think we can see this. I don't know what. So it's until it uses this podcast as a way of fucking, it seems to be like the whole podcast. Big follower and running on models because I was just thinking of how
Even if those big ass trucks can get through there, I'm probably still need to lay down the fucking road there.
So his answer for why was, to be honest, I thought it would be fun to film and see where things go, but I got it. So I just feel sad, funny, I'm done.
Will this be an issue?
Some help about that. So he goes, mode here. Like, you don't need to come together on podcasts, but why? How dare you not only deal with so
Is that you?
enough by this exchange, post it on Twitter, and they collect themselves. The big collective.
I can't see who's actually watching. I wish it would actually tell you like the username of whoever is watching as soon as I join instead of just saying one watching. Like, yeah, there's just one person here.
Also, the response to was great. She said, "I'll just be waiting to hear from you lawyers."
Hey.
Obviously,
Watch these crazy crane skills though.
This comes from someone else who had a very similar experience in Georgia. So, work tomorrow, if I don't work, and then it goes, which makes me not like that. So you're going, oh,
I really hate the way how short the screen is, but it is long. It is long, but it's not the longest. I'd like it to be.
Waste about 2 hours more and goes, you're killing me for this. So fun. And then he gives her about 3 more hours and he goes, you know what, I think about this whole business. It was a lot of money, straight up. And then she finally does a wise thing that she's just going to busy taking care of the mental health day. So he can't even go one point. It's kind of one thing that might be sense. And how it's done. It's like the other best my so French. But the thing is now, the intellect has never done any kind of nothing on its own, like any type of expressive content. He's just a professional TikTok teacher. All he does is people and or comments. That's it. So one goes to the whole thing for the sake of becoming like a OnlyFans creator. He just wants to have sex with people. And he's using his podcast as a vessel to try and conduct his series. She told him about the location was making the response to a mail interview, and then the following day at 6:52 a.m. So this guy must have been up all night asking him. It seems like that's the only thing must be fine. He sent her a message saying, "You want to come over all night? Actually, I'm down to come over tonight, or just a plane." Doesn't even give her time to respond. He's going to be tickets back. This person fucking stupid. So you come over tonight? Why are you just wait? Huh? You're just fucking search this? What is that? What? And then waits only like an hour and 40 after that. He's like, yeah, sorry, Dave. You're just too much of a flake. Bye. Obviously, she's like, oh, what's going on? She says, you wouldn't have be so on your plate after one day of not life's going to change. I can see why you're single now. Goodbye. Which really just said, yeah, whatever, go fuck yourself. Except the girl was trying to get it again. bit. On a side note, I'm not big as somebody else. Intellect bugs crazy to a that's redacted right there. The CIA document. I really wonder what he said. I think it's on bugs crazy to see or something. But I'm just going on what it's looking out the I think that's what it is. But it's so he's speaking about himself in the third person as well. And he's credit card. You can move on to $1,000. I just really want to. Favorite spot. I'm the best out of credit card being Monday. I'm here to go. I want to see it. This one's a lot more intimate, so this was a different type of relationship these two had as opposed to just the podcast hustle he's trying to run. So they start by saying, yes, this is nothing to me. It says, there's no hard to get working. They part ways. Or so it would seem. They have a couple of parting words here. He says, you yourself turn around again and say, hey, I'm not going to this shit you said. Don't before you go through all the bullshit. More angry than this fucker. Not my problem. Turn around. You're an alcoholic. Don't sound you fucking tease out bitch. So basically, get lost. This man, watching pillows, sick of these kinds of years in his eyes, you got they respond to it saying, you're far from an alcoholic. It just keeps him going crazy and saying, no, you're an alcoholic, you're an alcoholic, you're full of shit. He's like, anyway, I'm done, I just had to say that, you're full of shit. Martin said, he was in, she would take one go, and they goes absolutely berserk again. He says that he's wasting people's time, that he needs to just shut up, go to bed. And then she says, it sounds like you need some empathy. A very fair assessment. I think he desperately needs some assistance from me. And the thing tries to put this shit around like, hey, the videos so things like that. It's super disrespectful to say that to somebody, and also a very basic-ass bitch thing to say. Bitch, it's a very fair thing to say here. It's not disrespectful. You legitimately need some help. It's like, it very much seems like you do. Like even if goes, there's a reason you've been single for this many years. It's just no one wants you. And no one cares about you. Full of shit. It's boring. This goes on and on. It's all the space. It's key. Mic drop. Oh. Things like turning work and statements or accusations that have suddenly been foisted upon me, and I hope to speak to anyone who feels they've been wrong. So I actually looked at the conferences.
Nah, it's most likely it's on my end, most likely, because I'm downstairs. If I were upstairs, my connection to YouTube would probably be a lot more stable, and it wouldn't either, it's kicking you out on your end, or it's just, like, saying that you're leaving the stream, even though you're not. Yeah, I don't know why yeah. My internet doesn't really reach down here, but it's the best TV in the house. And it's a lot cooler downstairs because all of our ACs are broken for some fucking reason. A spider?
Like based on what I've been it seems like that guy is apparently a Young Scout who actually stops.
Oh shit, is that God Killer? Low key, God Killer?
This guy stinks, he's running, it's this sucks. And I guess he didn't want to leave that in the video because they know people need to sign. And if, like you can see that the vending machine looks like he's about to place when the game starts. And then Kevin James from Pitch comes in here getting with that fucking waddle swag, throwing that ass in a circle and getting him out of the way. So he just came in there and throw her to like the machine so he could get all to himself. And that didn't really let the video because it was so reasonable, so expected. That's just my work opinion. I saw a couple of Facebook group posts, one couple of Reddit posts saying that this guy machines on the day and basically doing the same thing where
I'm unironically listening to funk and it actually goes hard.
now I also saw that the guy who launched them out has one of the people who apparently recognize him as well. He's not some virtuous hero, you know. Ass Ketchum is not using those cheats for apparently he uses these Pokemon vending machines buying a extra product from. So it does seem like the original Academics were being scalpers, you know, fighting into the entities and that are based on everything I've read from the Bay Area. Also good. So anyway, though, back to the action, you can see.
Hey, that's an asset from SnowRunner. That service trailer to the right of my truck. That's an asset from SnowRunner. It looks a bit different though. It's relatively the same thing. Huh, cool. I didn't actually notice that. There's a few things in this game that they just kind of took from SnowRunner and put it into this game, which I don't have a problem with it. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool seeing things from SnowRunner get put in this game. Okay, let's see how I can do this. Why will my truck not turn? Rotate. Thank you. What did you remember?
You can see he is still in a wide power stance saying he shall not pass. And he's instigating this scuffle, by the way, yet he's leaving himself totally undefended. He could have caught the meanest knuckle sandwich of 2025.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, though, the action's winding down in the fourth quarter, they go their separate ways. That was pretty awesome. That right there is what Pokemon's all about. It makes it really fun. There are so many ways for Pokemon who are in the but yeah, like I said, these Pokemon vending machines are the actions stop. So, one thing that's been very popular is
And I can guarantee you this fucking mission is gonna take like a few days. Like legit a few days to complete. I don't think this is gonna get done anytime soon.
there buying tons and tons of product and then going on this said this before, this is but come to you on, I think Pokemon has become less for kids than
Is there any other way I can get these trucks there?
Pokemon Oreo, right? And they'll go like tons of Pokemon Oreos.
I have wasted quite a bit of time, I'm not gonna lie. I just realized that there's another route I can do. There's another route, but I don't know about this part of it if I go that way. I don't know if they can do that.
Of course, I'm sure there's data to prove me wrong. But I'm gonna put my head back.
Is this an operational crane?
I think my feelings
That's just a prop.
because every time there's a Pokemon collab, a Pokemon fucking fart somewhere out there, you will have hundreds, thousands of grown ass.
I need to get this over here.
To try and make money on scalping. So it sucks. It sucks.
We just let the guy read them. We just two assholes. All this shit. They're all in the fucking line.
I bet. I just figured out I wasted like 20 minutes.
So recently they implemented some new policies on these machines. One of the I'm reiterating it's not working. And sorry to hit you with the whole water, it is not working. I also heard there were purchase limits in place. That doesn't work either, because you can just make like maximum purchase limit, and then just stay at the machine and do maximum purchase limit again. So protocol regarding scalping or scalping. I don't know exactly what they can do. I mean, maybe you hire fingertips and each vending machine comes with its own armed security guard to ensure no scalpers get to grain sacking. I really don't. But at least they're aware of the issue. Maybe they can do something about it down the line that I'm not smart enough to think of, but I truly don't. Scalpers are a huge issue across the board. They're a scourge on the entire planet, not just the Pokemon. With Pokemon, I'd say scalpers are some of the worst and most pathetic I've seen.
Pokemon, I live after the sleep once a week. Every single time. It's not enough for sleep. Communicate with singles, bundles, ATVs, and just
That you know how scummy it is to it's all of these like marketing scalper videos, they like get really shy and really kind of like this guy's just waiting his tiny space, the other two guys they look like they want tears, and they know that it's shitty, but they don't care. That little $20 they can make on that makes it all. They're hustling right now.
Low key, why does sweet stuff hit so different when it's late at night? Or like early in the morning.
But yeah, Pokemon scalping still super sucks. Really shameful shit. That's really about it. Yeah. It's been a long time. Finally reaching the point where all that destructive.
This fucking crane is a beast for no reason.
It is. When I talk about someone that I know not heard of, his name is Tommy Thomas. That's actually what he calls himself. Something an 11-year-old named himself on Xbox Live.
Like, not even joking, this thing can clear the stupidest of stuff. And it makes no sense how it's able to do that with its weight, and it's like, it's very speedy for its size.
Yeah, he's handling it exactly how you expect someone like him to. Like a bitch. I'll get into what ran here in this video in a moment. What did they finally get on the, even from this Tommy Tough Knuckles, the biggest, baddest guy on the playground. It is pathetic. This guy is a super. I still can't even believe he chose to call himself Tommy Tough Knuckles at 21 years old. His name is Tyler. He made a conscious decision to go by Tommy Tough Knuckles like it's a fucking persona or something. Well, looking like this. There's no way this board is in a scrappy situation. I consider that as the thing, right? The only thing he's using those fucking spores is ripping his cock while sadly jerking himself to sleep.
Navigate left in Suffolk County, right start. Library for online pay.
The 21-year-old Bob Vasquez is accused of being behind the string of the zombies.
Good God! Look at how this springs back when I disconnect. Never mind, it didn't spring back. I'm not sure why. Good God! Just pull it. It's not that heavy. There's no way this thing is that damn heavy. There we go. Now we're getting some milk. You know, it's upside down. I don't want that.
That's why I'm working live services at 12,000 miles. It's 12,000 miles.
Now I'm thinking about it. This is a very heavy truck. This is not small potatoes. Let's see my drink. Come on. There we go.
The restaurant released a surveillance video to show what they were subjected to. All for life.
Oh, right. We got that thing up.
This is his bread and butter content where he just goes to random restaurants and businesses and makes a mess for them to clean up as he leaves and celebrates. So quarantines on himself, eggs, milk, that kind of thing. And that's it.
What the fuck is this dog shit ass music playing in the background of my fucking... Why is this playing? Why is this playing to begin with? I know it's there, it's just I don't know why it's there. Yeah, I'll get the pipes later, I don't care about this, I'll just grab pipes. Go, move. Okay, let's retry this. Back up. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, that was close. I know y'all saw that. What is the correct route here? Let's take it a little bit more to the right. There we go. Up. Come on.
Now, he does a ton of these. These are the two that the news organizations have flagged. He's got others like the Toji show, his 15K special where he does the same shit with milk and throws milk on some random woman that was walking by. But this trash was just the tip of the iceberg for Tommy Buttfuckles. He ended up doing a couple of videos where he would go up to strangers and say that he has an emergency, he urgently needs to use the bathroom, and they please let him use the bathroom. And people being police actually did let him into their home to use the restroom after he told them all this, and he was secretly filming them to humiliate them for their act of kindness.
Oh, right. Nice. Procreate. The hell, where I'm done with procreate. The hell is procreate?
So the reporters being there is making it very bad. Every clip that the reporters are there tries to like say fuck you guys, he like gives them a finger and then the cop immediately brings it back down to earth. It's just like
Still, I don't know what procreate is. I've never heard of that in my life.
so passionate, like he wants attention so bad, and now he's crying. It's entirely this old.
I wonder if these are useful pipes, because I'm pretty sure they should be
Now
usable.
he's made a bigger business.
I don't think you could take them off the trailer.
He did it to himself to secretly report people being nice at the
My sister draws art. I don't know. If I could figure out what her username on any of the services she uses is, I might tell you. I'll try to figure out what her username is on there. You could talk to her about it.
These guys, dummies.
This is a good pipe. Okay, take it.
You see that sprinting speed, Tommy Buttfuckles? All the makers of a varsity athlete right there with that insane 40-yard dash. That's red tail regard to this supportive house that literally snubbed across the room. This fucking beats listening out
Can I pick this up?
I just don't understand why nobody in the meatball sub-brigade
I can't pick it up.
couldn't send Kyle out and told him to stop, that it's a terrible idea and it's a really piece of shit thing to do. All this content, by the way, is just horrendous.
Let's level that out. Okay, I don't know where to bring this. This is a very heavy pipe. This is a very heavy fucking pipe.
And you go 3 inches, they know when to turn them, but it turns out no one was stuck in the bathroom. It was all there, just they couldn't even see it. It was no one stuck in the bathroom. There was a stalls and this is crazy. I'm gonna show you. It's just it's just harassing other people. And now this second that person's there and he's like, hey Tommy, you got the attention you want. How's it feel? He has been called to start getting in acts. He even launched a GoFundMe for his legal defense. Keep the laughs coming. Kyle, people who never delivered it is getting arrested. The laughs are coming because you've been arrested. No one wants to see that stop, man. This is the only good thing that you've ever done. Is get fucking arrested. And that is the only guy who made anybody. Now since his arrest, get this. So, what brings you here today? Just want somebody to tell me what you need. It's online personal spotlight for your side.
I fucking hate YouTube ads. I'm not even lying, bruh. Like, if you're on PC, bruh, YouTube ads are, like, fucking horrendous, dude. I'm pretty sure they're just as bad on iPhones and shit like that. Dude, what the hell is this? Okay, thank you. Pull it. I was about to say, what the fuck? I was about to say, how much fucking slack did it give this thing? Can I pull this up? Can I, like, lift it entirely? No, I can't lift it entirely. I'm tipping my truck over.
It's like this embarrassing mess that releases fighter response from everyone. So, no one chooses fight, they always choose to fight. Because everybody hates this guy and wants to fight. I have made fun of him for years now, but it's Mr. Rogers. He is trying to be unlike from the decisions he makes, things that he does. So everything about it is just young. It makes people want to flash on. It actually impressive just how it's my feeling about Jack Wolf. So remember that it's for the TV. Oh man, it's for the TV. Oh man, yeah. And I covered it previously. The last
Yeah, it was just... Whee! Okay, there was a chance I would have gotten stuck on that, but never mind.
watched recently, and it's already open for me. I thought it was
Stop! Oh my god.
It's crazy how you can look anywhere in this country like a 23-minute stream only, and I thought I barely streamed. Oh my. It was crazy how I can click anywhere in this 23-minute stream and just be in a place where you scan. Just a random spot. And there it is. He eventually buys.
What? I forgot what SMB stands for.
She's leaning into it. So
I forgot what that stands for. I don't know what that means. I'm brain dead. My brain's not working.
Oh boy. James in stream about something anyway. It doesn't even look like he made much money from the run either. Like, if you just look at the graph, it doesn't seem like he even made up like anything. Wasn't that initial pumping up? That's right. I think so. Like, it must have. I'm pretty sure his friends made it in the background, so he was stalling.
Oh, somebody. Yeah, I'm stupid.
As well.
My brain, no work.
It's just that.
Oh, what time is it? It's only 12, no, it's only 1:30?
Meet someone that and shuts down your bad ideas. I mean, it would pay bills, would it be okay to put the dump, or is it illegal? That's the crazy thing. The craziest thing is, the TikTok fucking Rob Hair 9-year-olds, like, all of them are getting fed pumpkin dumps. And I think that that's like a totally normal thing to do. And not bad. It's not regulated. It's not legal. It is still.
Yeah. What state do you live in? Because I live in North Carolina. Plot twist, she's somewhere in Hawaii or something.
It's sad. It's actually sad. I'm sure he's gonna do more of this.
You're in Florida? Huh. What's the craziest thing that's happened in the last week near Florida? Or in Florida? What kind of stupid shit has happened? I like how you can notice the fucking weight getting like heavier and heavier.
They don't have very
Yeah, I was stuck. For somebody who hasn't played the game yet. For somebody who, I've played a lot of SnowRunner. You should watch a few videos on SnowRunner. SnowRunner is a game that you would probably like and be into. But as a starter game, if you're gonna play any of Saber's games, because they're all really realistic. Most of their driving sim games are pretty fucking realistic with weight, like fucking like top heaviness, like of the vehicles, and the way that certain vehicles behave. And if you're gonna start off with a Saber game, play a game like what is it called? Mud Runner. That's the one I'd recommend playing first, because number one, it's free on, I believe, PS4 and PS5 if you have PlayStation Plus Extra. And it's one of the easier games if you're trying to learn the basics on how to play SnowRunner. But this game, if you're gonna play this game, I'd recommend you just get this game immediately before you play either of the other two games. Because this game is completely different compared to SnowRunner and Roadcraft. Or not Roadcraft, Mud Runner. It's like pretty different. I'm pretty sure I do still have some SnowRunner videos on my channel. Like some older ones. SnowRunner is one of my favorite games they've made. Like it's just peak Saber. I'm pretty sure Saber also worked on what is it called? Teardown, I think they worked on that game. That game's more of a physics game. I'll do my research is wild, done. I wish that dirt came out of this thing faster. I really do not like this dump truck, but it holds the most sand out of all the other ones I have.
It's a secondary scamming. So what happened is people got run, then they started putting in work. It's like, hey, we need to get the thing. So we're going to flag this up. They drive it up. Or it gets people to buy it. So it's like get the fuck out without. So that's what we're trying to do with people wanting to this is the exact same thing that just happened on the same site, the exact same picture a couple days ago. Why? If people are still how to do this
I've actually gotten really good at not getting stuck in this game.
keep getting by. That's the whole purpose of it. And not motivating anything wants to walk with this Jack. And Jack is able to just keep farming imbeciles absolutely. Just gets played to these games, ladder acting, is keep coming back. It's nuts. So I expect Jack to be doing this every day on the Kobe show that he is he's giving himself big financial rewards, but because it's in the crypto sector, it's not something they have to pursue. But maybe they will at some point. Hopefully it's the
Alright, bet.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tarkov wife is upon us. We spent 7 days every day getting this. It's to train. Doesn't meter here is for the gates or scan through rocks.
I bet.
Let's see what this wife is. Let's see. This is great. It's working. This is great. That they're working for us. But fast. Wow. Now this is it's not. It's just not easy to eat when it's painful. That's a thing. Burning country. Okay. So this is
Saber games are really fucking good, though. They, like, you could tell they put a good amount of work into them. Tragic. Come on, move. I'm on my chassis. Bottom of my truck is scraping the ground and I can't. Oh, there we go. God damn it again.
Insurance is ridiculously expensive. I just crack that.
Okay, now I just need to get a sand flattener out here, or like a bulldozer.
CMS kids. Seabus was greater for use as speed than cannot. No, Seabus is purchased. What the heck? This is. And the Seabus was produced in 3. This is. So insane, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. You're watching. You just go with the gear we have here. Serve me to. This is tough. What's the
I forgot how hard this thing was to drive. Oh, fuck you. I was gonna go first.
Is it a good time to start cargo? I think any time is what is going on. But this is going to be the hardest cargo. So just try to figure out what
Shut up. God, I fucking hate these like AIs.
I'm just gonna see this good. Yes. And this is almost fun now. Cheese. That's wild. It's wild. These crazy boxes. It goes away here anymore. Yeah. How circles. It's like great stuff.
I hate how much this thing turns. Yet it takes forever to make a full, like, turn, but somehow whenever you tap it lightly, it, like, snaps to one side. Okay, let's make it under the bridge. Okay.
Or something involved, yeah.
Do you need a free and easy way to capture your gameplay? Introducing Outplay. Record anything on your PC. Highlight reels, unreleased sessions, mod showcases, game reviews, speedruns, and anything else on your monitor. Capture your game highlights automatically, all with custom hotkey. Cut, clip, and edit your gameplay to perfection. Outplay's intuitive editing tools. Share your gameplay footage with a single click. Outplayed is lightweight and easy to use. Outplayed. Game recording made easy. Download for free now.
has a laundry list of deplorables. And his hands have picked him down. I've talked about acting running on streams and giving videos in the past. I'm not going to do some of these things last year. I highly encourage all of you to do something. Even if it's not hard to find any of this information, it's all right there on the open, right there in your fingertips. It is horrible stuff. I'm not talking about suicides, I'm not talking about scenes of I'm talking about criminal crimes, sexual misconduct. The list goes on and on and on. It's seemingly no end. That's just what we know. Oh, I still do tons and tons of skeletons in my closet. But anyway, the reason why I'm really in the bag is he is now considered another massive lawsuit here that has actually forced this man in having first time in his position at the WWE slash UFC recently earns a $1 million deal, and this man, my mom, has stepped down. The information comes from someone named Janelle Grant, working at WWE's headquarters, and is accusing the company's founder, Vince McMahon, of sexual assault, sex trafficking, and physical abuse in the lawsuit that was filed a couple years ago. According to the lawsuit, Grant alleged that McMahon promised John and promoted to WWE in exchange for sex. The lawsuit also points to allegations that John turns other men inside the WWE. There is a couple of things that can influence very big. Now, even if you're not part of the wrestling community, I bet you've heard some buzz about this lawsuit because some text messages allegedly leaked from it, as well as some of the links to the lawsuit are extraordinarily bizarre. Like, it is some grave shit. And I mean shit. The only big parts of this lawsuit that was popping off on Twitter, like general Twitter, was this section where Miss Grant is talking about a threesome that McMahon took her in. And she says, early in the encounter, McMahon immediately directed Miss Grant to lay down on her back in a suffocating position while straddling over her. McMahon defecated on Miss Grant's head. McMahon left the shower on. He instructed Miss Grant to remain in place with excrement in her hair and continue performing her spread. While Miss Grant requested protection, none was offered. McMahon and physical therapist actively continued with the threesome and directed Miss Grant's sexual performance for around an hour and a half while she was left covered in feces. Sadly, not surprising. I believe this is something that is the first album of all the plots generously supplies I saw quite a few people on the first one. This is supplies obviously very how I was double thinking saw that. I got stuff on for a second. Cowboys is still small.
On my luck, on my luck, on my luck, on my luck. Come on. There we go.
But the only bad sex trafficking, right? That's bad stuff. But you violate breaking an NDA is so much worse. You're going to you don't violate the contract. It's sacred. It's binding. Like, I just don't think an NDA that protects you in the case of a crime being committed. Again, I'm not an expert, though. The only NDA I've ever signed was a video game version, not from someone's skull, among other horrible things. It's fucking scary stuff. They said that man doesn't control TKO receiving competition with WWE, and that while this matter predates our TKO executive teams and the companies take this grants and harassment allegations very seriously and are addressing this matter in person. And a spokesperson for Vince McMahon also in a statement said that the lawsuit was with lies and safety evidence that were heard. I wish you would give this and I and more importantly, he is a fucking scam. I know there is no language. They separate art and artists in ways and characters that you can share and give. But there is and if this part up, it's like the whole outside of the fucking jail cell for the things he's done. Like, I can't separate art from art and talk to myself. I just can't do it. I know there are people that are not doing that, or I don't I want to be what there is there from different it is it's very not fun. So I just wanted to talk about it today. So I just watched an extremely interesting case presented by the Law and Crime Trial Network that I just had to share with all of you since it feels like the plot line of a midnight soap opera. It's got the evil wife playing the real Meryl Adams, and she's the hilarious twin. So her husband worked like a perfect money. They connected to work here. Along with not a video evidence and everything makes it very clear that that's what was going on, but if you have to say that word and talk about something else. But anyway, that's not where the whole story stops because the husband becomes aware of it, but he can't act on
Doesn't that
it.
shit hurt? I don't know if that hurts.
A woman that's actively trying to kill him. And then when he eventually takes it to authorities, they initially don't act on it. So he has to gather more evidence. It's just fucking wild. I just have to show this to all of you. Because this really does feel almost make-believe. It feels like something Darman would write if instead of making, don't judge a book by its cover videos, he made murder mysteries.
A military wife is now charged with attempted first-degree homicide.
So now I just need to fill in.
It really does make me giggle every time allegedly is thrown out in a case like this.
How the fuck? Why is it going that way? Oh no, wait, I forgot I need to reroute that.
Especially this one because the husband was super thorough with all the hidden cameras he set up.
Can it make it through here? No, not a chance it makes it through there. I mean, if I were driving it, I could squeeze it through, but I can't. I could definitely, like, I'm not even just dick riding myself. Low key, I could probably squeeze into there. Pause. Ayo, pause. Don't take me out of context.
In the kitchen with the bleach and coffee maker. Like, we can tell.
The man, quote, suspected someone was tampering with his coffee, and in May 2023, while still in Germany, he set up a camera in his house. The husband applied bleach as a form of poison, storing the chemicals under the sink.
This is one of many videos that capture her pouring bleach into his coffee pot. So he became alert to something a bit off about his coffee and suspected tampering with it. And I imagine he was able to taste something was wrong immediately. Bleach is like one of the most agitating chemicals you can ever fucking ingest. Like, coffee is not going to the sky to
Yo, have you ever drank bleach, bro? That shit fire.
bleach into your system. You'd probably take a single sip and immediately go, yucko, wow, like ouch.
Why can't I place this?
Like coffee, it tastes like fucking poison. You would have better luck shitting into his coffee pot and hoping he doesn't notice. There's at least a chance coffee can mask poop, but not bleach. Like, even if you have no taste buds, you would probably feel something is wrong with your coffee with bleach being mixed into it. So immediately, I imagine, he was tipped off that something was very awry here. So he set up the camera. I don't know if he immediately suspected it was his wife. Maybe he thought there was some kind of like burglar coming in to fuck with him and pour bleach into his coffee pot or something. I don't know if he immediately started to point fingers at his wife. I imagine he probably did, because I mean, who the fuck else is going to break in there and pour coffee or pour bleach into the coffee, unless it's like the Tooth Fairy out for revenge or something. So I don't know how surprised he was to see that. I can still imagine that was traumatizing. To know that the person that you are married to, the person that is the most important person in your life, is actively trying to kill you.
Court documents state that at the time, during May 2023...
Okay, I need to delete the route. I can't do that. I need to just place a new one. Shit's so stupid.
As he did not want to make a report of this while in Germany. He said he knew his wife would continue poisoning him and wanted to submit a report while in the U.S.
This is such an interesting conundrum. So he didn't want to make the report while in Germany and continues to fake drink the coffee, playing a game of pretend here, and then also, I assume, pretending that everything's okay in the marriage between them, even though he knows in the back of his head, his fucking wife is trying to kill him. And his wife doesn't know that he knows, so she continues to make attempts to poison him. When I try and picture this situation in my head, I immediately just start thinking about the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but without, like, the guns. So instead of, like, dumping lead at each other, shooting at each other, it's his wife really insisting on trying the coffee, a new recipe, perhaps. So, and he's just like, oh, this is good, very good, but he knows.
1 month later, in late June, the family returned to the United States and was stationed at an Air Force base in Tucson, Arizona. At that point, additional cameras were set up. Video captures Feliciano Johnson pour something into the coffee pot and look over her shoulder to see if anyone is watching. By early July, her husband reported his findings.
Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna. Oh my god! For a second, I thought I was gonna need to do another one of those fucking stupid ass missions. Oh, I was about to pull the trigger. I was low key about to just end my life. Low key, I was not about to do that shit.
Rubbing his tummy, all of that. I also can't help but wonder if he tried to like mess with her a little bit. Not trying to poison her, obviously, but like make her believe that the poison was working. Like, did he start faking a sickness or something? Did he start, making it seem as though he was falling ill in order to see how she'd respond? Like, he just, puts a thermometer in his mouth and he's like looking real pale and he's like, babe, I don't know what's going on. I'm not feeling too good. Making a bunch of like coughing noises to see how she reacts to it, to try and catch her with like joy in her eye that her plan is working.
Okay, where's my crane? Is my crane right here? Where's my crane?
Fucking immortal, just legitimately immune to poison.
Where the fuck is my crane?
Scary thought and pretty concerning considering he lived with her and went
Oh,
through this for over a month now. So, trying to murder him. And if she really thought that bleach had no effect on him, like he just killed him, it doesn't work. I just be worried that she tried other things that maybe he didn't want. Or not want. But anyway, he gathered all the
We'll hope and pray that new route I made will work. Probably gonna have to add more sand to it, because there's no way that works. First try. There's no way that works. Usually these routes don't always work first try like this. I'm probably gonna need to add sand to this, but yeah, I thought so. What the fuck are they doing? What the fuck are they doing over here? What the fuck is this?
Check this out, then. You need more?
Oh, they're falling off the side. Okay, let's redo this route. Let's change if he thinks about it.
Now you can clearly see the important feature of bigger and certain videos. If he goes a step further, by conducting his own animal experiments to confirm his theory.
Alright, that should be good. Dispatch vehicles. Nope, that's... Oh, what the fuck? Oh.
So he's gonna not only the evidence of the point or leeching to his coffee pot, now he's confirming the presence of the leech in the coffee pot he had all day, all of that. Now he has overwhelming amount of proof against his wife.
What the fuck is it doing? Motherfucker, there's no way you don't have enough torque to move this. There's no way. There's no way this motherfucker doesn't have enough torque to get through that.
She is pouring bleach in the laundry room, walking into the kitchen, so literally walking in the house with bleach in her hand. If the husband never saw that, she would immediately know that he would know that something is really fucking foul going on here. Or is they pouring bleach around the house that could possibly be the excuse, you know? Oh, babe, your phone is good to see you. But what do you mean by bleach in my hand? Oh, actually, I just wanted you to just take a peek at it real quick. Just tell me, does the bleach smell weird?
Might need delay asphalt. I don't know if it can get over that bump. Can it? Come on, please tell me. It's past that. No, it cannot. Okay. Where is my bulldozer at? Where does my bulldozer keep fucking going? Oh, sorry. I'm just blind. I know, I'm just fucking stupid.
Charges here, so hopefully justice will be served. I can't imagine a world where all of this evidence is presented. They're like, it's fine. You're overreacting. Your wife was just making you some real nice coffee with an extra flavor. So I imagine she will likely face serious time for this. I mean, it's attempted first degree homicide, apparently. So. Excuse me. So yeah, I just wanted to share this story. This one would be super fascinating. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah. On TikTok, there lives Mitch.
Come on, just make it. Come on, you can do it. Why are these motherfuckers so stupid? Just go. Why, like... I wish that they would just let me do this. Like, why are they so brain dead? Alright, where the fuck is the dump truck? Did I move it already? I think I moved it already. Yeah, it's right here.
The motive behind faking cancer, which, if that really was the goal of it, that is a worse plan than anything that he ever hatched for job respect. It's basically fake cancer eventually started getting like speaking gigs, I suppose. She documented her battle with people, I suppose. She also made a GoFundMe which collected like $37,000.
Don't flip, please don't. Okay, thank you.
Into a full-blown scam. She was taking money from people under the and then eventually the whole investigation broke down after investigation. Now, when the first video started posting on this, it only existed for black and white. In a rape video, he just posted covering this as much as it showed.
She sees it as an opportunity to document her past.
Lie about how much she's farming in person on the cyberspace to lie about her. In fact,
This game looks calm, but it's kind of it like makes your brain work a lot, like actually. I didn't actually know it would continue to fill up like that. I've never seen that before.
This may not be a case of we're having concern, but instead, an undiagnosed case of so, pointed out a lot of things that just didn't make sense about the photos and consistencies, not even using real medical tape, just that the law enforcement problem photo, and anonymously reported it as suspicious.
I'll be here. Can't go anywhere.
Out there, it'll be the first to come. I know it's a complicated swallow, but it is what it is. It's not clear that this bloodshot right here. Madison was arrested in January. I also did mention that even outside of like that one big nice bird inconsistencies, she was posting other photos that weren't hers. She would use photos from actual cancer patients and post them as if they were her kids, which is one.
I flatten this up pretty well. I swear to God, if they get caught in this weird little crack here, I'm actually about to shit myself, bro. Like, actually, dude, I swear to God, if they get stuck in this crack, bro, I'm about to smoke a line of crack and then go shoot up no, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. I'm not gonna finish that sentence, bro. No, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Knowing YouTube, there'll probably be like 30 cops showing up to my house, like, yeah, we got a call about a disturbance. Yeah, we were told you're gonna shoot up us. You know what I mean. God damn it. Can I restart this route? Why does it spawn it here? Like, why? Can you not be stupid?
This is not something that is just some oopsie-daisy mistake.
Like, why are they so brain dead?
Dumb decision that a young person makes. It's not. This is a full, calculated, evil plan that she did make like $39,000 from. I don't know why they took it so long here. But anyway, before I get to what her
knowing YouTube's soft ass, they probably would do something like that. Alright, come on, just let me fucking have this, climb that stupid slope. There's no reason for you to not be able to do that. And it can't do it because they're fucking dog shit vehicles.
I saw a comment point something out pretty profoundly. It said the plan was to get the family back together and it worked. They all came to court with her. And I was like, yeah, and she never said, oh, it's going to be there's no. But then this family came back. I feel like it's the family back together. What the fuck you make me go fucking make me. Plus, let's just picture the various plan you have done. And they all did come together to support you. It's absolutely to get things right? So when the family came together, they were and Ryan said, shit. They lost, right? So they were something So I don't think that was the real motive. That was just trying to ease her way out of it.
Come on, just... There's nothing there that you should be able to get up that. There's literally nothing there. There's no, like, there's a slight incline, but this truck should be able to get up that. There's no reason to not be able to. Unless this all just has to be perfectly level. Low-key, I'm considering it. I'm considering it. Okay, good. The other one isn't gonna make it though, so I need to lay a little bit more sand over there. Probably not any here. I really wish that it wouldn't, like, despawn them, because I know it's gonna despawn them in like a few seconds. Because the other one can't make it. Never mind, maybe it can. It's just slow. No, can't. It can't. This one can make it. The other one, slow, but it's almost there.
Disgusting. And I cannot believe how like sensitive not hurricanes, but cases simply this.
Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do here, or at least in this spot. Yeah, because it's not gonna be able to make it up that. Yeah, it's not. It can't.
It's highly illegal. So why is it always so?
That's a route. My crane was in the way anyway because I forgot what I was doing up here.
Sir got a bunch of donations and then just left and vanished. And you know, come back a couple years later.
I actually forgot what I was doing with the crane.
They don't get in any trouble or anything. I don't know. It's just so. Yeah, I want to go over this pretty evil case here of a TikTok.
I need my service vehicle because I need to get a few things over here. And of course, tap like us map. Why not? Where is the lakeside thing?
Absent from the list was by far the most evil six.
What time is it? 2:20.
This was a story I followed and then unfolded back as well because he had watched it on my favorite band round I did Lost Prophets. In fact, if you're an archaeologist watching this and watching what does unfold throughout this, you're able to find the re-uploads of my years of on runs from 2007 to 2008. You will hear that their 17 edited this. I used their music all the time in videos, like they're such a massive fan. So you can imagine how fucking disgusted I was when I learned the truth behind music. He had watched his crimes were some of the most depraved that I've ever read about. In fact, the senior investigator said the most disturbing child abuse evidence he'd seen in nearly 30 years. It's not exaggeration. He had watched a serial child sexual abuser, and even convinced some of his very critical mothers gave up their kids to him to abuse, and they convinced the mothers to abuse their own children on fearful that he masturbated. These sex crimes spanned years into evening, and the sexual abuse of a 1-year baby and rape of a baby. Not only were his crimes some of the worst I could possibly imagine, but he was directly making a brag about fucking kids to some of his ex-girlfriends at the time. And the other thing is, you just asked them, hey, are you having sex with minors? You would have hit them with a, hell yeah, brother. The whole story of Ian Watkins' arrest is also the story of terrible police work on the department. There were years of reports that people desperately trying to get behind bars and they just
Get out of my way!
they never used.
Oh my god. Just go.
The reason he ended up getting arrested was on unrelated charges that he find this absolute fucking fountain with goddamn horrors that wanted in there have to find all of his child abuse. So they're there for good reasons to continue to turn the other cheek and ignore what's coming from victims or implementing already compiled evidence. Now, like I said, it wasn't a very secretive way to do it. He wasn't exactly like some kind of cunning semi-criminal mastermind. It was very difficult to go back into the pedophile. Just look at this excerpt here. And one of the passwords he used for his phone. He had wanted where he said he didn't connect the walls, talking about when he was raping kids. So anyway, it's pretty good spread about evil artists and musicians. I predicted it's worth talking about this guy, his history, since it seems including a great article on people. So I'm just going to give a brief summary of the Ian Watkins related. Usually I did it my favorite band, and before I even got into rock and metal intro bands, I was listening to Lost Prophets. And you know, this is where that is so you make your own websites easy. I was creating a self website called mother searching for it, and 60 of your straight out so much. The very first thing that was there is the music video about song. That's right, I was like the early adopter of the constant culture where they just fail music videos that are really far views. That's right, the Lost Prophets on my website. So their music video will play, the other links on the side, and Lost Prophets music video will play. I don't know for everything I posted on that website, I don't
Session over? In what game? What the fuck is that? You see that, right? Or is the image quality too low? You see, you see that thing in the top, right? Right where the right where east is. Look at the compass. The thing right below the compass. What is that? Is that a piece of concrete? Oh no.
I'm not going to show any of it, so let's get into it. Ian Watkins was the stepson of a Baptist minister and he was an honorist. He basically fucking straight A in his whole career as a student. He graduated with honors from the University of Wales and in 1997 won the Lost Prophets. They saw moderate success with their first album called Advancing in Progress. It was in 2004 they started something that they really broke into the mainstream spotlight. They sold 2.5 million copies and were propelled into stardom. They had their music videos on MTV. They even had Last Street on the soundtrack to NFL Street. It was a great game. NFL Street had a wild soundtrack. Yeah, they were there. And they ran a lot of touches back when Halo 2 montage first started. The Lost Prophets really took it this one. They were a mainstream success pretty much right at the start. All the success of a lot of fans, many of which were the great roles that Ian Watkins would fight backstage gigs, and a couple of suicide letters circulating around this time on media outlets that reported that there were figures backstage at these concerts around Ian Watkins, which made him uncomfortable. They didn't report on him on it, so I think that's a big fucking blunder. That is absolutely something that they should take an eyebrow and get into a bit deeper, but regardless. 2004 they started something, they were blowing up, Ian Watkins was already abusing his status and was starting to bring underage girls backstage. Then around 2008 he started getting addicted to hard drugs and crystal meth. There was even a music insider that revealed more information than the company that was happening behind the scenes. They really moved in on the case of what was exactly going on back there. One of Ian Watkins' fixes gave an extremely in-depth explanation for all the awful shit that he was doing and interested in. Child pornography, bestiality, and believing he was invincible, untouchable. My name was I think that's worth bringing up. She went to the police multiple times with her phone and laptop and asked them to look into it. Here's all the evidence, now please use it. And they never did. I don't know what their excuse was for not investigating further. Maybe because she was a sex worker for a time, so they didn't take her seriously, but they just wrote it off as X. The Iwate regularly the sex workers. He would even send her images of actual, like, sexual abuse of children. And they just never took it seriously, at least not until Ian Watkins was actually arrested, and then they launched a massive investigation and arrested Joanne for possession of those images that Ian sent her. So she got arrested for the possession of the evidence she was gathering for the authorities who just weren't doing their job. And she was eventually cleared of these charges, but still, just an awful situation all around. He could have been stopped much earlier if the authorities had bothered to look into it even slightly. Because, like I said, he wasn't really hiding anything. There were a lot of times dating his back, dating his far back in 2004 without some involvement.
Alright, gonna have to pave that. Unless they can make it through there. Which I think they can. Nah, I'm gonna pave it just so it goes by a little bit faster. Nah. Nah, they can make it. They'll be fine. Possibly. Yeah, they're fine. You gotta repair a broken pipe. I believe that's here. Open request. Need to make sure they can clear all this other stuff. Oh shit, I gotta move the crane. Don't think they can make it up here. In fact, some of this other stuff here I might need to pay. I wanna watch those. Stairs. No, this needs to be paved. Alright,
because they will make you sick to your stomach. You will absolutely love it. I'm hoping to be complimented. I understand that this is so fucking ridiculous. Only one just to be of how bad this time is. This isn't helpful. So, okay, dates back to March 2007.
yeah. Oh shit, fuck. Jeez. Almost fell off my fucking couch, bro. Almost fell off my couch. How do I recall all of them?
This next part, I think, is going to be one of the most disturbing things.
I remember you're able to do that, but I forgot how to.
This is in regards to others. It's a one in particular. You were your infant was in home school. Mother nephew loves, protects, shields, nurtures, and cherishes. Your infant was entrusted you with whiskey. Trade evidence. You had a detailed discussion with Watkins about the sexual acts to which you were going to subject your infant. That's as far as I'm going to see. It goes into detail about what happened with Watkins' mother and making and yours and the mother when they are sentenced. Whole thing is described in the works. It is. This isn't all, but these will all be 3 counts that I described. It goes on and on. I think it was the biggest monster.
There's 2 of them, one's shorter than the other, so if you want one of them, you can. I don't care. I don't know how much my parents would care if I gave you one of my couches, but okay. I need one of them. I can't just sit on the floor. Alright, bet. Ugh. Bro. How do you deport a dog? How do you even deport a dog? Nah, she said, I don't know, I'ma figure it out though. Nah. Low-key, you gotta admit, these fucking roads are clean as hell, though. Even for some, like, at least even for something at this angle, which is horrible. This is a horrible angle to be making a road at, but I'm gonna make it work. I will find a way for it. And just like I'll always find a way to make a clean ass road. God, I hate how low to the ground these things have to be functional. Because they have, like, no ground clearance, making it very hard to actually drive these things on, like, uneven surfaces. Alright, let's get the steamroller. I actually don't know why these things are called steamrollers. Do they use steam, or is it just, like, why are they called that? This game ain't bad though. I like this game. Me and my dad play this game. I give this game like an 8 out of 10. SnowRunner's like 8, like an 8.7. Mudrunner's like a 5. Mudrunner's the GOAT, but it's just not that good. The only thing you can really do in Mudrunner is like logging missions, where it's basically just you grab these logs from this log depot and then deliver them halfway across the map. Pretty much it. That's just about it. But the reason I said earlier to play Mudrunner before you play SnowRunner is mainly so you can get an understanding of how their physics engine works. because Mudrunner and SnowRunner use the exact same, and they use the exact same physics engine for their vehicles. So like they bounce relatively the same. They like have like the same type of weight ratio for certain vehicles, and they're both as top heavy in each game. So there's certain vehicles that got integrated from Mudrunner to SnowRunner. Just like in this game has vehicles from I think both SnowRunner and Mudrunner. Like which one? I think it's the Mule. This vehicle, the Mule E1, F1. What is this thing called? How did it say? The Mule T1. The Mule T1 was in Mudrunner, as well as the Zix C12C mobile crane. It wasn't a crane in Mudrunner, but it was in the game. It was a normal vehicle, but it wasn't. I'm pretty sure this was also a vehicle in Mudrunner. And then it was also in SnowRunner, and then it's also in this game. Yeah, this is like one of the top tier vehicles in both games. I'm pretty sure the Taiga was in SnowRunner. I think it was in SnowRunner. This vehicle is in SnowRunner. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, most of these vehicles have been in both games. Alright, let's see if this fucker can do the rest of this, because I don't think it can. I think I need to pave the fucking third road. Because why not? Fucking called it. Fucking called it. Can they actually get through this? Nope.
Is like schizophrenic that goes on things. is he got this fucked up wicked story. He was Asian American
How do you lock yourself out of your iPad? Oh, you put in the wrong thing in too many times.
Someone else also worked on tunnels. It wasn't just a ski event back then. It's made to also construction.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think that's like all have done all have you done doing.
So I believe, according to what he said, at the time of this, he had about 16 million in actual cash, but he had $1 billion worth of Bitcoin somewhere that he never cashed out. So he's not actually a billionaire, but he's got access to it, and it looks like he never cashed out. But yeah, multi-millionaire, very, very wealthy. Long stories we know about this a bizarre case will finally come to an end tomorrow. Cancel that with the sentence.
No, I want to let you know today.
That's great news.
The judge has the sentencing 9 years, one less than the minimum given 9 years.
So what the fuck is the point in having a minimum sentencing when it comes to a crime? The reason the minimum is there is that it's not supposed to go long. How can you just be like, yeah, I'm just going to disregard that? I don't know. What?
No matter how you can get, come on, the mozzarella is
Agony. What this is gonna be?
likely dirty. Water wipes. Your clean, healthy skin.
I don't think he paid off the judge. It doesn't seem like he had access to his money. That makes no sense. It's goddamn law. Like you think the rest of the did he break the law for a bird? What? Can that happen?
What about my feelings? Don't I matter? You know, you're praising this gentleman who did a criminal act. I mean,
Even if he didn't, if you killed him on purpose, which I really
Okay, so
does he harm society? He walks around and inviting people to work on an underground bunker in complete secrecy, blindfolding them, refusing to let them outside with their eyes open without giving them duct tape glasses. It just sits in his fucking shit-stained paper. It's awful. It's just...
I mean, what's stopping for real? God damn it. Come on. There we go. Fair enough. Fair enough. Man, fuck! Got to go over there.
And as always, until next time.
Next time, and Cody kills it every time. If you're a fan of documentaries, absolutely use Patreon, absolutely bangers, nothing but he's a great guy. Man, that video that you had, though, the story that you had, that is very frustrating. What I want to talk about today is extremely infuriating. So if you're in a group right now, I tell you, you better start thinking about it, because there will be no happiness left after this topic. I've talked about for a while that TikTok has provided the minds of all users that they're the main characters of
3 in the morning right now, bro.
I'm still surprised that all these are slacking out and not on the forms. Why would you sometimes it's late or confused by a video? Last month, when all the way, but even if you find it, so the situation was, it was arguing that Starbucks, the mom that was to stop being a year-old daughter, straight got married, decided to explain it to a murder. He stabbed the father, made fun of his daughter, he went out and died. Starbucks. If you don't like what it is the father always is to stop him from it is horrifying. What an unbelievable evil monster. It's such a true thing. Hey, bud, it's not making me to what my daughter right here is it's been uncomfortable. Purpose at all.
I may have gotten myself into a bit of a situation here. But I'll get out of it, because I'm just built different.
Dude must be really stupid, Jason. Well, he's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison for murder, as he should. Just involved in a sad situation. It really doesn't blow my mind reading stories like this, where someone kills over
I'm
something
just that
so
good at driving
stupid.
this game, dude.
Easy to fix. In the first place, that this guy needs to stop making what the big movie. Just stop making murder movies. It makes no fucking sense to me. Now, when Alex Bond, well, Alex Bond is nearby some piece of the story. He's starting to go and caught this guy before it's the last one. He walked over to watch the guy go down. And now he's keeps saying, "Hey, this guy's dead. He's dead. He's dead." Like multiple people when he's trying to film a fucking 360 video of this for TikTok. He makes no effort at all to help the situation like all the movies or trying to help at all. It's all just about a TikTok video for me. I really can't show you
Loki.
Hello.
This fucking thing go up the damn side of this mountain before I tweak the fuck out. There we go. It's called not this. Fuck.
Like self-employed, which is why we now have this picture of Alex Bond. He's doing like an actual Twitch hog face with teeth and one body. Like, he can stop himself from smiling and pretty much just cheering on his neck like he's at a sports game. This is created an entire generation of absolutely fucking useless music like Alex Bond. He does nothing about the situation and somehow uses a tragic murder as some kind of cloud comedy scheme to make a viral video out of it. Now, luckily, he's still so shredded over with stuff TikTok users because this guy got fucking fucked out so hard he deactivated all of his shit because everyone was bullying.
There's a weird glitch happening. I need to leave and rejoin.
So that's good. It's
Fuck.
in order to smoke a cigarette where this guy had killed. Which is some real psychopath shit. I bet this guy really thought in his little smooth brain that this instance was going to be his ticket to the big time, the big leagues, the upper echelon of TikTok fame. He would be the guy that filmed the murder, I guess.
How long have I been here? 2 hours and 20 minutes.
This guy actually just looks like he's cosplaying as a generic psychopath. I don't know how to explain it, but just by taking one look at him, I know he lives alone in an apartment and abuses his pets. He addresses the viewers as the Starbucks stabbing fam. I guess that's what he's trying to call his community. It's pretty clear that he doesn't actually think this is a serious situation at all. This video is supposed to be his side of the story, explaining it,
Bro, what the fuck? Like, why is it not letting me access my thing?
I really thought this was going to be a standard cookie cutter influencer apology video. I mean, the fake tears true combo, but it's something very different.
Yeah, I see some blood, and so I just thought maybe like there was a bloody nose or something. My brain wasn't really allowing me to believe what just happened, and I knew he was dead, but at the same time, so like it's my first experience with this, right? So like I pretty sure he's dead. Like, it's like starts screaming, sounds like the fuck else to do. The murderer's standing right there. All that's going through my head is like, holy fuck, I'm standing right here screaming, he's dead while the murderer's right there. What if he comes at me and fucking kills me?
Oh, brother, we got it all wrong. He was afraid, clearly. Maybe the murderer was right there, and this guy was concerned that maybe the murderer was going to kill him. He was so afraid that he stood there and continued to film the whole thing, including filming the murderer, while doing play-by-play commentary that the father died from. And then still continued to sit there filming, turning it into a selfie blog style where he starts talking and laughing.
Why is this game not letting me use the thing? Oh.
Like the motherfucker, that part, like, I smiled on my face, I was out of comfort. I was so uncomfortable, I didn't know what just happened, like, that's why I always
Isn't there a steel beams facility?
I fucking hate the way this guy talks. He is
Steel pipes.
still trying to fool TikTok girls with this shit. Absolute weirdo. He's put that little, like, what's it called, vocal fry.
Steel beams. Here it is.
He has a lisp and is trying extremely hard to hide it here with all of this.
I need a crane though, because I can't. For some reason, the game's not letting me do anything with this. Can I transport the? I might be able to use those.
Traumatic or scary situation, they look at like a smile or something. That's not what he needs to. Like, that's not the same responsibility. It's not turn the whole thing into like a song and dance for you. And turn it into comedy. That's not his big one. A smile. You know, and dead body, but you're in the goddamn spring break inside. It's not the same. Like, you can't even come close to making it a convincing argument that, well, actually, that's why I'm slapping. I started falling. That's how I feel.
Sorry for people that are pissed off. I've been told by the presently. I appreciate everything. But, yeah. It's changed with the thing.
Alright, but.
A totally normal person would say, you're lying to me if I don't know you. It's meaningless. Oh, that's something not, inserting fear at all. It's a giant red flag. It's very curious where his brain was going. He said, like, he doesn't phase it too much because he's seen, and then he cut himself off. Also interesting that he contradicts himself because he stated that he was, like, traumatized by the event, saying that every time he thinks about the situation, he gets a feeling in his chest of pure fear. But in this video, he's puffing out his chest, his strength. And that's like that. He's such a big, strong man that this kind of thing doesn't phase him. So that's weird. Were you phased by it, or doesn't that matter to you at all? Even this video said you shared his freak. What freak? You already said you wouldn't be phased by it since you didn't know the guy, like had no meaning to you. So what the fuck are you talking about? I really feel like this guy has no access to emotion whatsoever and is trying to dress people on some kind of show. Does. But it's very
That's stupid. Can I just stack these on top of each other?
So I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Horrible situation. And,
Actually, no, I'm thinking about it.
I went to my family's house for dinner a couple of nights ago, and my father was raving and stopped talking about a case I'd never heard of that apparently is just wrapped up. The Alex Murdoch murder case. And in fact, it extends beyond that. The entire Murdoch family murders. This is a very high-profile case that I just hadn't heard of until my father started lecturing me on it, like I had just taken a criminology course. He apparently followed every single piece of evidence that dropped. He watched every trial, everything. My dad studied the tits off of this case like he was going there to prosecute Alex Murdoch himself.
Perfect.
And
Actually, no, that's not perfect. I need to move it slightly to the left.
So,
Or right.
to the best goddamn channel on YouTube for things like this. People legal recently made a full breakdown over every single piece of evidence and every single key point in the entire Murdoch history. So I'm going to go into that in the description, but I just kind of wanted to share.
Please work.
Because deep and disturbing cases I've learned about quite a while. So I just wanted to share kind of just the
Ooh, I could strap that. That's perfect.
So my dad just told me about
That's like
that.
actually perfect. If I can get the fuck out of here. Bro, what am I caught on?
He snapped and killed his son and wife. My dad was telling me all about it, apparently. Or, not apparently, my dad was telling me all about it. Apparently, it was a wild case, and I didn't know shit about it. Yeah, apparently the prosecutors had a video that the son had recorded that showed that Alex Murdaugh was lying about his whereabouts at the time of the murders. So, yes, the story was they were killed at like the dog kennels on their property. Alex Murdaugh claimed that he wasn't there at the kennels at like the wild eyes because they had his whole call record there before when people were trying to alibi, trying to go wild eyes. And eventually, the prosecutors showed the video that his son had recorded literally minutes before he was murdered. His son had threatened his gun, his outrage, and also witness to his housekeeper dying, and he embezzled her life insurance.
So it's Los Angeles Series top murder expert O.J. Simpson predicting that the Alex Murdaugh was trying to lawyer to the murder. And turns out that Simpson's promised prognostications really weren't as truthful.
Alright, bet.
It's crazy. It is crazy. We had O.J. Simpson was going from the shows, giving him on how another murderer potentially in your case. I believe
Randolph Murdoch Sr. was elected solicitor in 1920 and served until he was killed by a freight train in 1940.
It sounds like an actual Western murder where they tied train tracks over the situation. It's been a South Indian murder.
That was the neighbors. The freight train in they was being to figure out why Randolph's cars on the tracks. But Senior was succeeded by his son, Randolph Jr. was possible. Position
Well, I just gotta pray I don't either, or just don't fuck this up. Cause I'm gonna have to get there.
But I'm sure prosecutors have. And he got to keep the position. He would make these threats like, okay, if he doesn't get the death penalty, my rapist will go into comedy. He sounds like the Joker. Well, what? Elected official, so he just campaigns and pays off the right people. Yeah, but I'm sure there's still systems in place where if you're threatening to release rapists out of like a grudge, you can get fired. Like you can get like taken out. Like you lose your position. I would think. Because in the 70s, it's not like rape was cool in the 70s either. I'm sure people weren't like, they were like rallying behind it, like, yeah, that's fucking cool stuff.
This is a bit of an issue. This thing is too heavy.
I don't. I'm just going to take a guess that the other Murdochs didn't use the same tactic.
Alex Murdaugh, now convicted murder, is Randolph and son.
All of this information is to show you that the entire Murdaugh line is fucking evil, basically. Now that you brought up the speed on where Alex Murdaugh comes from, it's still his kids, because his kids are no saints. People lose more details about some of these cases, but I just like to give like a breakdown of more information. Obviously, watch the video on it, but more analysis of Buster is named after, of course, Buster Murdoch. He's actually a person of interest in a 2015 death. A young man named Steve Smith.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't think this is gonna work.
There wasn't a whole lot of indicators to suggest that this was a vehicle crash. In fact, it was more of a homicide by a couple of people, most notably the county coroner. And interestingly, Buster Murdoch is mentioned.
What happens if I recover this vehicle?
So, Alex Murdoch and his brother Randy visited the crime scene.
Some of this. I lose the cargo. I don't care that much.
And this case actually just got reopened after the entire Alex Murdaugh investigation. So that's all a bit peculiar. That doesn't seem good. Something smells very fishy over there with Buster Murdaugh. And he's not the only one. In fact, Alex Murdaugh's other son, Paul. In 2019, Paul...
There's a bit of scrap down there. Scavenge.
Paul and his girlfriend got in an argument where Paul assaulted her, and then eventually the night culminated with the boat crashing, everyone surviving except one person, Mallory Beach. Paul was blamed for the death. On driving the boat, he received 2 charges. One, influence causing great bodily harm. One, influence causing death. So as you can see, the Murdaugh family is known for its financial crimes. There's a lot of death in the family as well. And there's still one that I can talk about. One that
I can't pick those up. Fuck this.
Their housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, became trickle. Their dogs fell down the stairs and died in their monthly lodge. Alex Murdaugh instructed Gloria Satterfield's sons to sue him for insurance money. However, he neglected to inform them.
Wait, hold on. What am I doing? I have a research scanner. I can just
basically robbed them of about
grab this,
$1 million from the
cover it.
insurance here. And it's just pure fucking
100 scanner. That's metal.
bloodline seems first is nothing but bad news. It is disgusting.
It's wondrous. To sue Alex and Paul as they allegedly to watch Alex's financial crimes to set up his assets. Alex allegedly found Paul dead outside of his home for us.
I'm really trying to break this down in the most concise form possible, just to convey like the general story of the situation. But again, I can't recommend checking out English full video on it. It's absolutely like all like rest right now. In a nutshell, years and years of millions of dollars of stolen money and financial crimes were about to be brought to light, all of which Alex Murdaugh was panicked about. So, a theory behind Paul is he in some way find behind his way out of this situation. I shit you not. The murder of his son, Paul, went back right now. Here is he hidden force to turn himself into a victim and to basically just buy himself some extra time to get out of the situation because all of these financial crimes that have built up over the years were about to be fucking blasted publicly all the point of life. So that is his plan. Now, Paul was murdered before he ever stood trial for the death of Alex Beach. But the story because there was one other situation that occurred involving the entire hitman that Alex himself hired. So his other son did his insurance money.
So Alex is stealing things and leads to Alex did the same thing in that conversation because Alex was shocked with it. Yes. Seriously.
Yep. So I now we're at the part that everything I've seen this from one. Now part that my dad now I have to say something straight. I guess I won't drop the spoiler, but I see now what has happened. How things have happened.
Yeah. Alex like he hired his cousin Ed.
He did the life insurance.
But apparently cousin Eddie wasn't.
Let's not make sure that's the land.
It also turned out to be Alex like fun fiction games.
We're talking about that. It's called me about the shame of any single missile. Yeah, well, you know.
There's gonna be other scrap down there.
Alex son is most likely responsible for deaths as well.
It's either a lot or absolutely none. No in between.
Yeah. Yeah. I get at that point, I get the candy shoot for the life insurance policy for Buster. I put up duty like, dude, that shit's crazy. Yeah, no, this is absolutely wild. I had no idea. It was like so reaching. It's like, oh, you're working for it, but like it's fascinating. Like it feels like it's some kind of crazy and yeah, like it's just like knowledge on this whole thing apparently. He didn't even mention the family stuff, so I thought that'd be cool. Yeah, no, this whole wow. Did Alex Murdoch hire cousin Eddie, red-blooded patriot, fucking wild maniac to come shoot him? That's wild. So his plan was actually to die. He said, come shoot me in the head. And then he survived and like, yeah, time to change plan. Wow. Hey, a lot of things to be said about Alex Murdoch, but God damn it, he gave 110%. This man was ready to literally kill himself. Sadly, his son would still have some fucking cheated funds, $10 million life insurance policy.
The child's biggest option is blood sense action.
Yes, this is the one that my dad was talking about.
Alex told me this the last scene his son was like, to one of the bodies. This is testified because they believe Alex is this that. Snapchat indicates Alex's decision to testify as well.
Almost with yeah, I think that is very clear in his voice in the Snapchat video.
Alex didn't talk to this thing, so mess up, he lied. Alex didn't look his voice.
Get back to the kennel to me. Yeah, with a nice bag and Paul Burke.
I will. Don't make me absolutely just the lie right there. I do want to point out, this man's got some wild hair coloration here. This looks like a weird slider in Dark Souls creator. He looks like a french fry with like some cheese sauce on top. That shit is falling apart.
Lies, let it go and definitely bar up. Night 7.
I hate that. I'm so sorry for that.
Other than that, I was very shocked that every aspect of this nature. When Alex Alex trying to bribe Dirks to let this know, he thought it was suspicious. And on the reading, he had to fix the terms.
Man, this guy just straight up looks. He looks actually soulless. Those are some hollow, empty devil eyes right there. 100%. Sometimes, man, it's just looking hard.
That's Alex had actually surprised me. Also, someone deeply about the fact that Alex Alex works is the consistencies of Alex's performance. And that's the best of Alex's financial needs. Alex's financial crimes are completely simple and works. As a solution, his past financial crimes give him space to his character.
It's the big some holes in my credibility since all of these financial crimes have just done a bunch of lies and with all of that? Or is that not allowed?
Every single one of these, you had to sit down and look someone in the eye and convince them that you were on their side. You were not.
Wow, that's hard.
Which the question how you did. Alex's response, what I think is this like I thought and that was possible fathers of business. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Alex Murdoch is sitting there and looking at you. Damn. So how do you find the past? That's it's wrong. All of his financial debt is realized by his drug, which is asking him his purchases of $1,000 a night. As for Clemens, the prosecutor said that his experience with 300 blackout found in Diane's body. And Murdoch's own right chain and 300 blackout, and the weapon is now missing. Alex also clothing up. His mother's plan. Alex tried to remind her about what he was wearing.
I guess it's easy in hindsight, but I feel like even if I was in the court that this was her fault, the second it came to that point, both killers would come to me and be like, well, he fucking did it. It's that. Oh, so they're guilty. Blackout. Oh, no, blackout. That's okay. That's when you bring it in, so just make sure like everything's all of it. Oh, it's okay, well, like the clothes you're wearing, maybe picked up some forensic evidence from the real clothes. Oh, clothes are clothes. It's hard to get hurt. When you're sleeping, it's a couple of clothes off the back. Even if it's dirty on you. Just 3 hours of information. Oh, nice.
Alex Murdoch is sentenced to 2 years and life sentences during his 1 year
While talking about the celebration of the Santa Claus paper, yes, it's as the face of the man. I'm just thinking of music around here. He's not like the old one people or included here. This is a pretty common theme about how nine this has big crimes and like lock the doors right around that like this so I think they actually give a fuck and pursue real serious actual dangerous actions to help explain others to pursue this. I feel like I play softball actually do something about this. Fuck. And he has always so wild about his crimes. Now he's not really one of it's like, why the fuck is doing this guy on the He's also going to be dangerous, right? He's going out, according to some of the reports here. But this is not someone that they should be playing like that game with. I'll do it again. Alright, I've got it. It's fine. This is something that they should be doing over and over and over. I really know that for a game to build up the piece and so we can actually do all this stuff. There's just no excuse for it at all. Going on the public roads and compromising everyone's safety for your content, I just think it super sucks. And I think the fans of this kind of content are extraordinarily annoying. So there are still like see us better. He's not nothing wrong. I don't think that very still company says that people are trying to do so people that also on screen, but whatever, I suppose, is going to be wrong out here. They even think we're going to get still burning. You know, hey, it's guys. Of course they will. It's what it is, I guess. But I'm just super happy that it's hard to interested, and I can totally involved in that page. Really, anyway, that's really about it. I'll be honest, I don't usually cover topics like what we're going to touch on today. This is extremely serious. Usually the stuff I cover is things like white laugh at, throw tomatoes at, saying, stinky, yucky. Not this. This is horrible. To stay here and see the top of the fiction, I myself didn't know about it until 2 days ago, where just some random gender during stream mentioned it, and I looked it up. The issue was maybe a few minutes old. I don't even know how that guy got access to it so quickly, unless it's like one of the cheap investigators in case I just typed in the chat. But when I looked up there, it wasn't until I was mentioned about the case, and I followed it for the last few days as more and more information has come to the public eye. It is truly, to my knowledge, this is the first case where a live stream was used as an alibi in a murder case or anything of that magnitude.
Oh, that's finally. Okay, I'm not sure why the game isn't letting me get any of this out of here.
Their innocence and act as a smokescreen to cover up their crimes. The person I'm about to talk about hasn't been found guilty yet, but they have been charged with murder with overwhelming evidence. Extremely compelling and strong evidence. On December 18th in Ireland, a woman named Natalie McNally was stabbed to death in her own home. She was 15 weeks pregnant at the time of her death. And the person accused of the murder is a man named Stephen McCullough. He is a YouTuber as well as streamer. He mainly focused on toy reviews, as far as I can tell, specifically seeming to be a big Doctor Who toy reviewer. So what happened is, on the night of Natalie McNally's murder, Stephen McCullough went live on his channel. This live stream is still up right now. It's a 6-hour live stream, and this was crucial evidence to prove his innocence on this evening. Because
there we go.
How could McCullough have possibly killed someone when there's proof of him streaming from his home at the same time that the murder had taken place? So they eventually, after bringing him in initially on suspicion of being involved in this case, let him go, because this live stream did serve as a pretty good alibi for him. Plus, this wasn't just streamed to 0 viewers, there were real, sentient human beings with a pulse there to watch this stream. So should any of this information ever come to light, there would be a lot of witnesses saying, no, I watching him stream, he was 100% at home. So that was his whole plan. And while this worked for a brief period of time, getting him out of suspicion, it was an ephemeral victory because after the investigators combed through about
When's he getting snagged on?
CCTV footage, they kind of hit his whole
Oh.
location. They got his whole itinerary here. They were able to track him around and follow him around like he was a fucking Sims character. So not only did they see him through the CCTV evidence, but they also had the account of the taxi driver. They even took notice of things like a yellow glove underneath a black glove while giving change to a bus driver. And with all of this, they had a really strong case against him being the murderer. But they still had that live stream to explain. Because again, there is a live stream that did span the entire course where all of this took place. So how the fuck does this happen? You know, is he David Copperfield? Like, what, two places at once? Is this some kind of prestige situation where he had, like, a twin or a clone of himself? The actual answer is it's far simpler than you would possibly ever think. The live stream was fake. Yes, the stream went live on his channel during this whole period of time, but it wasn't actually a live stream. It was a pre-recorded video that Stephen McCullough had recorded days prior in order to look like a live stream, to mimic a live stream, so that way it could be used as an alibi. And when you watch the live stream, which again is still up on his channel, there are so many alarming red flag moments throughout it, even from the get-go. So he mentions at the very beginning of this live stream that he's not going to be able to read chat for a variety of technical reasons. One of them being it would crash his computer and freeze the computer, it ruined the whole stream because of all of these deep tech problems that he couldn't solve. Everything's gone cattywampus, so he won't be able to read your chat. More like, Doctor, who's talking because I can't see you, I'm not reading chat. He just keeps reiterating over and over and over again that there's going to be no chat interaction.
That solves
Because
Mom Bill's
obviously,
fuel
since it's a
problem. Better clear
pre-recorded
your
thing,
schedule for that
there is no
statue
chat
ceremony.
to read or interact with.
Well, because this screen is not work, this kind of on the left, it means it can't check the live chat, which is a real shame. Can't look at the live chat for some bloody reason, because by doing it makes the whole thing freeze and OBS just screws up.
And he just kept like explaining why he can't read chat, and he started talking about like, well, I guess I could read it on my phone, but you know, I get addicted to TikTok when I'm on my phone, and that's a mess. So I put my phone in timeout in another room, so I won't be reading chats there either, and then probably reading the internet too anyway. So no chat tonight. You guys can talk amongst yourself. I don't even like live streamers who read chat, so no chat for me tonight. There's plenty of streamers who don't interact with chat. To go this long and this in depth on things that make absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever to explain why you're not going to be reading chat or reacting to donations is definitely a little odd. But there's plenty of other really alarming moments about this stream, especially looking back on it in hindsight. He keeps reiterating that he's live, you know, this is live, and he's staying inside all night. He talks about like drinking and driving, and he never drink and drive, which is why he's staying inside, drinking on stream live for his viewers to enjoy. He's playing GTA Vice City throughout the stream, and he's making comments about like how the police force is no longer like equipped to handle cases, and there's a rise in crime. It's in the real world he's talking about. It's all very fucking alarming stuff, but by far the scariest thing he says has to be this.
Yeah, that's physics. That's what's happening in the real world. Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not.
Completely out of nowhere, unprompted, he mentions someone named Natalie. Pretty menacing way. And once again, there's plenty of other things he says in here that are very scary, but I think this one is by far the worst moment. This has been what this confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt to be a fake live stream. When authorities seized some possessions, they found the actual video itself, that it was filmed on December 13th or 14th, and also Cullen himself has confirmed that the live stream was not actually live, it was pre-recorded, but insists that he was actually just drinking by himself alone that night. He clearly denies the murder and insists that someone else may have been dropped off in the tracks near his home, referring to the CCTV evidence that they've gathered and pointing all of his locations throughout the evening. There's also other awful shit here as well. McCullough stayed pretty close to Natalie McNally's parents, and in one case even left his phone over at their house in order to like target them and secretly spy on them and record their conversations to see if he was a suspect. So McCullough went to the McNally house, left his phone on the floor and left, but returned 40 minutes later, claiming to have forgotten it basically saying is listening to the conversations to see if they suspected him of anything. I can't envision a world where Stephen McCullough is not the person who committed this crime. There is just overwhelming amount of evidence against him. And he still doesn't have a real explanation for what possible motive making the live stream leak. Nothing that makes sense at the time. And then randomly dropping Natalie's name during it. I just cannot imagine that this man is innocent, but he hasn't been found fully guilty of being a murderer yet. But yeah, overall, horrifying situation. The absolute best Natalie family, and hoping justice is served here. That's about it. Yeah. Call it the shit franchise with shittier TV. Now they call it murderers. This is a story I can follow since the first reports of the suspected death via swatting were reported on. I'm sure some of you have already heard it by now, but it's something I want to talk about. So the sound story goes, two grandchildren named Vaporize and Near a Full. And know upon hearing these abysmal names, you ask yourself, are these eight? It's 3 inches hard, so I'm confused. It tends to this real rapid at once, and then eventually escalates to the point where Vaporizer gets in contact with an even bigger version, and the chief version, his name is Slotistic. He has been known for swatting things like MLG matches and shit, just really psychotic stuff. I'm not going to do too much talking about this. I still watched it because I wanted to hear what a slaughter sounded like, and it's exactly it's just as pathetic as it is. Right, please. Responsibility. It's amazing that you can actually hear the back in this kid's voice. And the way he talks, it's like he took pages right out of the Tumblr expert's playbook, like the fucking incel section of Tumblr, using advice on what you see, I have access to backwards and play. I suppose you could deduce that I pushed him into the shark-infested waters, but it was the shark that killed him, not me. And it's sad that I have to compare sharks to cops, because sharks aren't even out for as much blood as cops are. But anyway, once he vaporized, gets in contact with Slotistic, and takes drops, SWAT Miracle, but Miracle his heart, reaches out to Slotistic and says, here's my address, SWAT, listen boy. And it's so because it's one thing that's my favorite the brave it is gives an address that isn't his, belongs to an innocent man who gets killed by the cops when they show up. Is it a good start? It should know once and all was responsibility. That's the my mom and the other two kids. And to agree, they have a big part to play in something called the same sentence, which is life in prison. Will contribute absolutely nothing to society. And fucking alcohol is being made just for a college degree. What good they bring to society? They're just downright sociopaths, and none of them can help people. It wasn't just the big lecture called the SWAT. Miracle, one who gave that address in his lab, Vaporizer is not I don't think it be that the podcast is fucking innocent and want to be jerked off in my kitchen with my coffee maker. the second floor window, like Action Man, and land on the ground and turn himself in? Why did they freak out because he oh, I'm so sorry. He's the real victim. There's nothing to live with that for the rest of his life. No, the cop is not the real fucking victim. The real victim is the man who got killed and his family that he makes with. I feel absolutely nothing for that cop except hatred. He's either A, the most untrained officer on the force, and the force benefits from him not being there, or B, just a bloodthirsty minx. Now, if it's the former, training for SWAT goat, they're supposed to be the leads. They're supposed to be the best, the best, and also pray their own shit. Take any risk. This whole thing that happened now, miracle and vaporized together for a perfect storm of committing penis and lack of testosterone. And if Tyler's going to jail, those two wants to be going to jail. Vaporized will likely get vaporized in there. And if this hole wasn't stretched 2 feet, the cop also needs to be joining them with some more than just a paid vacation. There needs to be more done. Justice hasn't been served entirely, but it's a great fucking start. I just want to address this because I already know it's going to come up in the comments. People calling me just a cop hater, one of those fuck all cops kind of people. I'm not. I don't hate all cops. There's good and bad cops. I know that. There's a lot of bad cops, a lot of them going around right now. Just take, for example, the fucking Simon Says killer not too long ago, who just executed a man who was following his absurd instructions, making him do everything shy of an interpretive dance in front of the court, and he kills him. It's fucking sickening, and I think this is another example of a bad cop. I know all the details surrounding the path here, but I don't think under any circumstances a man opening a door and being caught in cold blood, unless he walked out of that front door with your palms strapped to his chest, I don't see why you execute him like that with no fucking reason, no warnings. It's just disgusting. This is a bad cop, and a lot of bad cops, but I don't hate all cops. Obviously not all cops are bad. But yeah, I mean, that's this whole story. I'm super glad this water is caught. We can only hope that justice is served for the other 3 that were involved in this tragedy. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, there's so many things in this world that can make you proud. There could be Beta, perhaps. But, I don't know. Using all the latest and greatest in technology and summoning the world's leading forensic experts to analyze the footage here, I think we can all confidence that this guy and the guy that showing you get arrested here on the street are the same person. It's just so big that this world is forsaken enough to allow people that sound, look, and act like they're straight like they exist at the same time. I just don't believe that. It's the same person. I'm pretty sure it is. You want it? Oh, oh. Excuse me, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Being placed under arrest. For what? Wait a minute. What's up? I know. Inside. So they're arresting all guys. All did nothing wrong. Yes, they're acquitted. It tugs on your heartstrings. It's a beautiful finish. You'll love to see that. I can't imagine a more fitting conclusion here. I don't know why anybody's saying he did nothing wrong. He immediately tried to run from the cops who were about to start talking to him. You can't do that. I imagine the guy called there for a disturbance like, hey, there's this weirdo and weirdo friend and he harassing everyone nearby. I'm going to talk about that shit out. And then Chief Paul here immediately tries to, but it's not really a fun. This guy he thinks like a microphone steps that kind of resemble like speaker and the cop going, he's watching this news. So, what the update is that he's going to be one charges. I couldn't tell you. It just makes me happy to see that they go up so you can make him up the street there. So I thought that might put a smile on some of your faces. That's about it. Yeah, I hope you slept well last night because you made that interested again after watching this. I'm going to show you what a real deep is like in our world. If I ask you to picture a devil, I'm sure a lot of people go to like him from Powerpuff Girls, like just that really classic red monster with horns. But in real life, that's not what a devil looks like. Oh, it's many times in the past that exploits religion for financial gain. He is extraordinarily wealthy and vile, taking advantage of his faith. And he does all of it with a smile on his face and a wolf in sheep's clothing. Let me show you.
What was I doing? I forgot what my goal was. Oh, right, that, okay. So, I need to bring resources to the zone. Steel beams, 10. I'm gonna go use the bathroom, I'll be back.
He was interviewed by Inside Edition about his lavish lifestyle.
How are you, sir? We'd just like to ask you about why you decided to fly First of all, why have you said that you won't fly commercial? You said that it's like getting into a tube with a bunch of demons. Why do you think that?
Yeah, he's one of those private jet creatures that I always like to insult and call attention to the hypocrisy of people like him, these evangelists or heads of mega churches that live a life of outrageous luxury financed off the backs of those in their congregation who are donating under the guise that it's going to help further their faith or help the church or something like that, when really all it's doing is enabling them to live a lavish lifestyle. Always just makes me sick to my stomach. It runs so counter to the Bible that I have no doubt in my mind they will likely be going to hell without God even giving them a consideration of entering the pearly fucking gates someday. It is deplorable. It is just diabolical. And yet it is so common. I just recently talked about an online pastor who blamed his cryptocurrency scam on God, saying that God made him make a shitcoin to scam the people that follow him, which I think one of the most blasphemous things you can ever say as a pastor would be at the gall fucking chutzpah to blame the crypto scam on the Lord. And you're going to see this a lot throughout this interview, and if you ever dive into this rabbit hole and a lot of pastors, they always use their connection with God as the excuse. Well, God actually wants me to have a whole fleet of private jets. It's actually very Christian to be wealthy, and it's just a complete bastardization of what the Bible is supposed to teach.
No, listen to me for a second. The main reason is because of the need. If I flew commercial, I'd have to stop 65%.
Baloney. What a load of horseradish. You wouldn't have to stop 65% of what you're doing if you flew commercial. You can fly commercial and still reach all of the same places. There are more planes in the sky right now than there is poop in my butt. And trust me, there's a lot of poop in there because I haven't taken my morning shit yet. You can fly commercial and still do all of the same work you've been doing. And it's not like you're doing important work. And all you do is you're basically like this Dementor who sucks money out of everywhere he goes. That's or you're just perverting Christianity to pay your own agenda of making as much doubloons as you possibly can in this lifetime.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really good. But
The business of your donor position.
it's okay. We gotta talk it over.
If you want to come out here, I'd like to give you a chance to catch your breath and
He's floundering here because he knows there's really no way of justifying this when actually confronted with the question. He usually relies on the Bible as a shield for criticism, so all people debate the big question, he says, oh, questioning God. But now he's actually getting interviewed by someone who's done their research and is actually talking to him about how his lifestyle is the complete opposite of what the Bible talks about. And he doesn't really know how to defend it because there's no way to defend it. It's also very telling the way he views all the people around him by calling them demons and then when talking about flying commercial, like he just won't do it because he can't stand to be around people in general. He just wants to use them for his own financial gain. It's a fucking sickening perspective. And his mannerisms, the way that he does these creepy smiles and his gestures, all is so menacing.
have a conversation. We don't want to catch off guard.
Hey, you listen to me? My wife thinks
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, yes.
Now, I don't see much sugar now. I equally disagree with sound. It sounds like demons of the big questions. Here's what I think is the Antichrist looking at. They just like to smoke it, it's like they have speed. Our God is inside of missions all around. He's clearly trying his best to like suck their like inside of mission is incredible. I can't believe you guys would do this to me when I'm such a family of yours. Constantly have these wide range of emotions that he conveys, like that, the way he moves from infuriated to like smiling hammer in the creepiest way possible. It's alarming. Everything about this guy should be sending you into a fight or flight response, as opposed to just throwing money at him. It should be running away from him.
Can you explain what you meant by that term? Just explain, because it's really simple. You said you didn't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. What did you mean?
Well, let me ask you.
You think that people that fly commercial are demons?
It's totally not explained this way. But it's a biblical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It doesn't have anything to do with Jesus. That's one of the first people I ever said this way. Because people who have finance, they pay for his private vacation that he goes on. So I know people. I already know they cost more than he wants. And sticking his dick in there just for the wrong, taking as much money out of his mind. It's leading them away, exploiting, taking advantage. That's the only thing that he loves. He loves like that. So again, you will not just answer the question of what he meant by being in a bunch of demons on. In the Inside Edition interview where he continues to press that, which I really appreciate. He just tiptoe around it. Yeah, it's just answer it yourself. Just say it. Say it with your whole chest.
You just don't have to make it as interesting as after yourself.
Guys get the job done with their own two hands. And the kind whose hand is so he's a hard challenge. To the second kind, we said
One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10.